Now we have next example of VT graph. For VT graph, slope is acceleration. So suppose this is a straight line graph. Along vertical line, I have plotted velocity. Along a horizontal line, it is the time in seconds. 2 points are given. The straight line is meeting the y-axis, which is vertical axis, at -4, 0. So the value of y-intercept is -4, and on x-axis, that is time axis here, so the straight line is meeting at 3, 0. And we know that if it is velocity time graph, the slope is acceleration. So let's consider the angle made by straight line with positive x direction is theta. So slope is tan theta. Now we will calculate this tan theta. So tan theta is a positive number. Tan theta is a positive. The slope is positive. So we'll calculate this angle. That both are same. It is opposite angles are equal. So tan theta is equal to opposite by adjacent. So we will calculate opposite. Now the magnitude of this opposite side is 4, and the magnitude of adjacent side is 3. So we have tan theta is equal to 4 by 3. So the slope is 4 by 3 meter per second square. So using this straight line graph, we have learned if a position time graph is given, if velocity time graph is given, how to find slope. Now little bit distance and displacement we will discuss. Distance and displacement using XT graph, which is position time graph. The vertical axis is position in meter, and the horizontal axis is time in seconds. So the origin 0, 0 means the time is 0 seconds and the position is also 0 meter. If the graph is given like this, on vertical axis we have the coordinates as 0, 3, and over here the coordinates are 2, 0. Now we have one more time instant, which is 1. Here it is 0 second, here it is 1 second, here it is 2 second. Few questions are there. Question number 1, find displacement in first 1 second. First 1 second means 0 to 1. First 1 second means 0 second to 1 second. So at 0 second you have to observe what is the position. At 1 second you have to observe what is the position. Then only we can say the displacement is delta x, which is final position minus initial position. So at 0 second, what is the position? At 0 second the position is 3 meter. So x initial is 3 meter, and what is x final? X final means what is the position at 1 second. So 1 second in the graph it is not mentioned, but we can calculate it. Suppose the position is x, let's call it x1. So how to find x1? So we will use the concept of trigonometry. So suppose this angle is alpha, so we have tan alpha is equal to, if you use this full triangle, if you use this full triangle, the opposite by adjacent. So 3 by 2. Three by 2. If you use this small triangle, now over here, this is x1 and this is 1. So for this small triangle, we have tan alpha as x1 by 1. x1 by 1. So we got x1 is equal to 3 by 2 or 1.5 meter. So that is the final position. At t is equal to 1, the position is x1, which is 1.5 meter. At 0 second, it is 3 meter. So initial position is 3, final position is 1.5 meter. So the displacement delta x is equal to final minus initial. So 1.5 minus 3, that is equal to minus 1.5 meter. Displacement is minus 1.5 meter, and the distance will be magnitude of displacement. So that is equal to 1.5 meter. Distance and displacement both have same magnitude, because the straight line motion, in straight line motion, the direction is not changing. So in that case, displacement and distance both are same magnitude wise. Let's take one more example. Now this is the position time graph, x t graph. I am plotting two graphs. One graph is like this and another graph is like this. Let us consider this graph is 1 and this graph is 2. Why two graphs? We can draw two graphs in one diagram for two different particles or two different persons. For two persons, 1 and 2, position time graph is given. They both started motion at t is equal to 0. So by looking at this graph, we will observe few points regarding their motion. So they started motion means they are moving, but if you look at the graph, we have straight line graph. Now straight line graph means the slope is constant. So slope means velocity. So velocity is constant for a straight line. Xt graph, which is a straight line graph, the slope is constant. So both have constant velocity. Both have constant velocity. Now we will see the constant velocity is rightward or leftward. So by checking the sign plus or minus, we can tell the velocities are positive or negative. So we have slope for graph 1. So clearly the theta 1 is more than 90. So tan theta 1 is negative. So V1 is negative. V1 is negative. And for graph number 2, theta 2 is negative. So we can say theta 2 is more than 90. So tan theta 2 is negative. So we have V2 also negative. When velocity is negative, that means the particle is going leftward. It is going left side. So both person both persons are moving leftward with constant speed or constant velocity, with constant velocity or constant speed. Both are moving left side with constant speed or constant velocity. Their velocities are negative, like -1, -2, minus root 3, minus 2.3 meter per second. Now, one more point we are going to observe. When time is 0, they have different positions. Suppose this is 1 meter and this is 2 meter. So, if I am saying they both started their journey from two different points on x-axis, so it will be true, because the person 1 started its journey when position was 1 meter, that means 1 meter away from origin, and person 2 started its motion when it was at 2 meter, at time t is equal to 0, position is 2 meter. So they both started from two different locations. So their initial positions are different. They have different initial positions. They have different initial positions. How much was separation? We can find the separation. The position of second person is 2 meter, position of first person is 1 meter. So the separation is 1 meter. So initially they were separated by 1 meter. But after some time we are observing that their positions are same. This is the point where they have same position. Their initial positions are different, but after some time, maybe after 1 second or after 2 seconds, they have same position here, which is the intersection of these two straight lines. It can be 2 seconds, it can be 3 seconds. We can take any example. Then it is just for an instant. Their positions are equal only for an instant. Their final positions are origin. So suppose at this particular time instant, we can say, suppose this point is actually we have to find according to geometry. Suppose this is 1 meter, this is 1 meter, and this is 2 meter, and this is 2 seconds. So according to geometry, we have to calculate how much is this value and how much is this value. So we can tell at what time the person 2 and person 1 are arriving at origin. So let's solve this question. So this is 2, and we have to give this value also. Let's make one question on the next page. Suppose this point is 1 comma, sorry, suppose this point is 0 comma 1 and this is 0 comma 2, and this point is 2 comma 0 and this is 4 comma 0. Horizontal axis is time axis, vertical axis is x axis, this is position x, this is position in meter. position x in meter and time is in seconds. Now, using this graph, we can say the person, this is 2 and 1. So person 2 is arriving at origin, which is x equal to 0 at 2 seconds. And person 1 is arriving at origin at t is equal to 4 seconds. Now, at what point they are meeting? How to calculate that? So at this point they are meeting, so they have same position. So let's write the equation first. Equation for person 1. So equation for person 1. So for person 1, what is the intercept? Intercept is 1. And how to find slope? So we will find tan alpha here. Now here tan alpha is equal to 1 by 4. So the slope will be minus 1 by 4. So the equation of a straight line will be x is equal to mt plus c. So x is equal to minus 1 by 4t plus 1. This is for person 1. Now for person 2, the y-intercept is 2 and the slope will be minus of tan alpha, or we can say tan theta or minus tan alpha. So for person 2, we have tan alpha as opposite, which is 2 by adjacent, which is 2. So 2 by 2. Tan alpha is 2 by 2. So minus tan alpha is minus 2 by 2. So that is equal to minus 1. So slope is minus 1. Intercept is 2. So let's consider x is equal to mt plus c. So x is equal to minus 1 into t plus 2. So this is the equation for second person. Equation of straight line involving position and time for person 1 and person 2. And this is the meeting point. Suppose M is the meeting point. At M point, two persons are meeting. So how to find time and how to find position x? How to find x and how to find time t? So positions are same. Positions are same. So we have minus 1 by 4 minus t by 4 plus 1 is equal to minus t plus 2. So that is equal to, take this minus t on the left side. So t minus t by 4, taking plus 1 on the right side, it will become 2 minus 1. So 3t by 4 is equal to 1, or we have 3t by 4 is equal to 1. So t is equal to 4 by 3. So that is 1.33 seconds. So at 1.33 seconds, they are meeting only for one instant. That is 1.33 second. And at that time instant, the position x will be, now you can use this equation or this equation. So let's use this equation. So these two persons are meeting at x is equal to minus t, which is 4 by 3, plus 2. So minus 4 plus 6 by 3. So that will be 2 by 3 or 0.67 meter. So they are meeting at 0.67 meter. when the time is 1.33 seconds. Now, let's talk about parabola. So let's consider a parabola whose tip is at origin. Tip at origin. The meaning of tip is at what point the parabola is opening. So this is known as tip. It can be like this. So this is known as tip. If it is opening rightward, this is the tip. If it is opening leftward, this is the tip. So when the tip is at origin, so we have y square is equal to some constant x. Example, y square is equal to 2x or y square is equal to minus 2x. So basically when the constant is positive and when the constant is negative, how to plot this parabola? So look at whose power is 1. The exponent or the power of x is 1. Power of x is 1. So the parabola will open along x. Parabola open along x. So when it is a constant is positive, so it will open along positive x. When the constant is negative, it will open along negative x. So how to plot these two parabola? Y square is equal to positive constant times x. So power of x is 1 and the constant is positive. So this parabola will open along positive x. So this is the parabola. And y square is equal to minus 2 times x. The power of x is 1 and the constant is negative. So the parabola will open leftward. So using this trick, we can analyze how to plot parabola. So similarly, when x square will be given on the right side, you will have some constant 2 or constant 3 or minus 2, minus 3 like that, and y power will be 1. So how to plot the parabola? Suppose x square is equal to 2y. So if you observe, the power of y is 1. Power of y is 1. So it will open along y axis and the constant is positive. Constant is positive. So it open along positive y direction. So the parabola will be like this. And suppose you have x square is equal to minus 2y. The power of y is 1. So it will open along y. But up or down, look at the constant number. Constant is negative. So the parabola will open down. So this is the parabola. Let's do one question. Parabola is passing through point 0, 0 and 1, 2. as shown. As shown. Write its equation. Write its equation. Now the parabola is given in question like this. And this particular point is given. Suppose this point is A. Point A is given as 1, 2. And also it is passing through origin. So the complete parabola we can draw like this. This is the complete parabola. It is opening along y-axis. So how to find the equation? So clearly the tip is at origin. The tip is at origin. This is the origin. Tip is at origin. So it is opening along y-axis in the positive y direction. Open along positive y direction. It is opening along positive y direction. So we have parabola equation x square is equal to some constant which is positive constant times y. Let us suppose this positive constant is c. So x square is equal to cy. Now we will consider one point on the parabola which is 1, 2. So the value of x is 1 and the value of y is 2. We will substitute these x and y value in this equation, which is 1 square is equal to c times 2. So 1 is equal to 2c. So c is equal to 1 by 2. We got the value of c. Now substitute it here. So x square is equal to 1 by 2 y, or we can say y is equal to 2x square. So this is the equation of parabola, or we can say x square is equal to y by 2. Next concept is slope in parabola. So suppose y and x are two quantities, they are changing with each other. Dy by dx is called as slope, and we know that slope is tan theta. So how to observe tan theta in the parabola? So consider this is y-axis, this is x-axis. Now we have to consider a parabola. So for understanding purpose, we are considering parabola whose tip is at origin. So suppose this is the parabola, it is passing through origin and it has a tip also at origin. So let me consider the remaining half of the parabola. It will look like this. It can be position time graph, it can be velocity time graph, and time is positive. So we have to consider only positive graph. For negative time, we don't consider the graph. But for understanding purpose, I am drawing the complete parabola. So we have to consider a tangent at parabola. At a point, draw a tangent. Tangent is a straight line which intersect graph at one point. So if the tangent is here, let's draw a tangent at this point. This is a tangent. Look at angle theta it is making with positive x direction. So the slope at point A is equal to tan theta. We have to imagine, or sometimes we have to draw tangent passing through A. Calculate tan theta. that is the slope. So for example, if this is the same parabola, we have tangent here, it is making 60° at point A. And suppose this point is 2, 3. The value of x is 2, value of y is 3. How to form the equation of parabola? So we know that the remaining half of this parabola will look like this. So it is opening along positive y direction, open along positive y direction. So the equation will look like x square is equal to some constant c into y, and c will be positive. C is a positive constant. Now we will substitute 2 and 3 in this equation. Two square let us suppose this angle is not given. Let's consider this angle theta is not given. So 2 square is equal to c into y, which is 3. So c is equal to 2 square by 3, that is equal to 4 by 3. Suppose this angle is theta. At A, the tangent is drawn, it is making angle theta with positive x direction. So c is equal to 4 by 3. Now x square is equal to 4 by 3 into y. So y is equal to 3 by 4 into x square. Now we will find the slope. So dy by dx is equal to 3 by 4 times of 2x, that is equal to 3 by 2x, and 3 by 2 times of x. So for point A, the x value is 2. So 3 by 2 into 2, that is 3. So slope is equal to 3. So at point A, the slope is 3, and the angle made by tangent, this is the tangent, the angle made by this tangent is theta with positive x direction. So we can say tan theta is equal to 3. So theta is equal to tan inverse 3. Let's consider one more example. Suppose this is the parabola, and at this particular point, if we draw a tangent, this angle is given as 60°. And suppose the value of y is given. Value of y over here is 2. Then what is the value of x? That is a question. So it is opening along positive y direction. So we have x square is equal to some constant c into y. The power of y will be 1. So y is equal to x square by c. Now the slope we will find, slope is equal to dy by dx. Now the dy by dx is equal to 2x by c, and this slope is given as tan 60 because the tangent drawn at this point A is making 60° with positive x direction. So slope at A is equal to tan 60, which is root 3. So we will equate these two now. So 2x by c is equal to root 3. So c is equal to 2x by root 3. Now we will put this c value in this equation. X square is equal to cy. So x square is equal to cy. So x square is equal to c, which is 2x by root 3 into y. Now x and x cancel. So x is equal to 2y by root 3. So we have x is equal to 2 by root 3 into y. Now for point A, the y value is given as 2. So x value is 4 by root 3. X value is 4 by root 3. Now let's consider 2 points on parabola. 2 points on parabola. And compare the slopes. Compare slopes. So suppose this is the parabola. Let's consider these 2 points. First point is A. Second point is B. At A and B, let's draw tangent. So tangent at A will be like this. And tangent at B like this. Tangent at A is making angle theta 1 with positive x direction, and tangent at B is making angle theta 2 with positive x direction. So slope at A will be tan theta 1 and slope at B will be tan theta 2. So which has greater slope? We know that when angle is more, if theta is more, tan theta is more, we can use some examples to justify this. Let's take theta is equal to 30 degree. So we know that tan theta is equal to 1 by root 3, and the 1 by root 3 is a 0.577. If we take theta is equal to 37 degree, so tan theta will be 3 by 4. 3 by 4 is 0.75. When angle increases, tan theta also increases. So when angle is more, slope is more. So theta 2 is greater than theta 1. In this diagram, theta 2 is greater than theta 1. So tan theta 2 is greater than tan theta 1. So slope at B is greater than slope at A. Slope at A. So basically, if you move along this parabola, the slope is increasing. Slope is increasing. Slope is increasing. Let us consider another parabola. Now for this parabola, let us consider 2 points A and B. Draw tangent at A. Draw tangent at B. It is a straight line passing through B. So this angle is theta 2, and this angle is theta 1. So slope at A is equal to tan theta 1 and slope at B is equal to tan theta 2. Now if you observe theta 1 and theta 2, theta 1 is greater, theta 2 is less. Theta 1 is greater than theta 2. So tan theta 1 is greater than tan theta 2. So that means the slope at A is greater than slope at B. Slope at A is greater. Slope at A is greater. Slope at B is less. So that means if you move along this parabola, slope is decreasing. Slope is decreasing. So let's consider one more example. If this is a parabola, in this parabola the tip is not at origin but at some other point. I am considering points A, B, C, D and E. You have to tell slope is positive or negative. So at A slope is positive or negative. So if you draw a tangent at A, you see the angle theta is less than 90. So slope is positive. At B also, if you consider a tangent passing through point B, we will see that the angle theta is less than 90. So at B also slope is positive. But which has greater slope? A has greater slope, B has less slope, and at C is the topmost point on the graph. So at C, the tangent will be parallel. It will be parallel to the time axis or horizontal axis. So at C, slope is equal to tan 0. Tan 0 is 0. So 0 slope. Topmost point, it has 0 slope. Similarly, at D, if we consider a tangent, this tangent will make more angle, more than 90. So slope is negative. When the angle is more than 90, slope is negative. Slope is negative. And at E also, if we draw the tangent, we will see that this angle is also more than 90. So at E, slope is negative, but which has more magnitude? Which has more magnitude? So clearly slope at E is more than slope at D. In case of A and B, the magnitude of slope is more at A than B, and for D and E also, at E it is more slope, it is greater slope, magnitude wise it is greater. So suppose we have equation such that the parabola is like this, and it is said that it is xt graph. It is xt graph means this is position time graph. It is a position time graph. So what we can say about the velocity? Suppose this point is A, this point is B, this point is C. So A to B velocity means slope. Velocity is positive and decreasing. becomes 0 at B. So particle is at rest at B, and B to C velocity, that means slope, is negative and increasing. The magnitude of slope is increasing. What type of motion is this? A to B velocity is decreasing but positive. Velocity is positive but decreasing, and B to C velocity is negative and increasing. So if we consider x-axis, the particle is moving along x-axis, so we can say initially the particle is going rightward, but velocity is decreasing, come to rest. So it is going right side, come to rest, then taking U-turn, now it is coming left side with increasing velocity. Right side increasing, right side decreasing velocity, coming to 0, that is rest, then it is going left side with increasing velocity. Right side decreasing velocity, coming to 0, then left side increasing velocity.